Just for the record, I hope we're all clear that LLMs don't produce language. They produce ersatz language at best. Okay? And the test for this is just jam it with category changes. So be really specific, right, about your categories. So like some category that is specific only to your mother, and then some other category specific only to your best man, and then only specific to your second dog that you ever owned. Very specific information and temporal categories, past, present, future. One sentence that contains physics, but also contains poetry, but also contains a chunk of your some boring chunk of your taxes, like a 1099 or something. And just give it, say, 3 categories like that in one sentence. Just say, here you go. Analyze that. It will try to get from you. What do you want me to focus on? It will ask. It won't make the decision for you. No matter how much you force it. I mean, I don't know exactly how it'll behave now because I haven't tested it in a few months. And just the nature of like the kinds of questions that I ask it now will be totally different than the ones that I was asking it. But anyway, look, this stuff is, it baffles me how our thought leaders are so confused. Look, it's not language. It's noise. It has no epistemic content. It barely has semantic content. Because what is grounding the semantic content if there's no variable binding? There's only per token variable binding. Ask your LLM computer science experts on that. Grill them really precisely. Is there variable binding beyond the immediate token that's being input? In other words, is there recursive computation? Can you bind variable names? Say, name my great-grandmother, Fanny Johnson. Name my grandmother, Mildred Johnson. Enter the dates, such and such, historical timestamps, etc. Such and such happened, some events, right? Store the semantic values of each of those statements with the variable bindings according to the positions of the names, right? Great-grandmother, grandmother, etc., but also the proper names, their Christian names, right? As well as their temporal meaning, as well as dictionary meanings, as well as genealogical meanings and anything you can think up, religious meanings, right? All of this is one big semantic superposition across time. LLMs do zero of this. They do not bind variables. You enter some very simple question. It pretends that it's very straightforward what domain of discourse that it belongs to. And then you just think, oh, well, because it's the expert computer, it knows something about the domain that I mean to ask about. But what if I'm just asking about like some really personal details about my sex life? And I have to euphemize and say, well, I have to euphemize by president number. And I have to say like, well, no, but this was like number 43. No. This is definitely more like 37. I mean, 37, right? If you've got a mimetic consciousness, in other words, if you have a constantly running reflective consciousness, that doubles your factual consciousness, like, any ordinary mature adult does, then you can see that there is absolutely no tracking of language going on. It's not learning from you even in one lousy, if it binds one variable to one sentence, what's that mean? It's not developing any dossier, any file, any scaffolding or anything. With one token, what can it do? Thank you for your attention to this matter.